Cultural topic. Today we are going to see Basti. 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 It's a Balanta marriage when a girl gets pregnant before being married. Literally it means cleansing ceremony, because in Balanta culture it's not acceptable for a girl to get pregnant before marriage. The person is considered as unclean. And if the ceremony is not done, when that girl gives birth and it comes to pass, somebody pass over the blood, her blood, that person can get a sickness because of the impurity of the girl. Even the girl herself and the man who impregnated her, if the ceremony is not done, they can get a sickness as a result of it. This cleansing ceremony takes place at water stream, generally in a low altitude rice field with water that we call thamba, that we saw yesterday or the day before, where both the girl and the man are washed and cleansed. It is done by a specific person. Not everybody is allowed to be there. Generally, the ceremony is led by a witch doctor that we call a Sikhi, who knows how to do it. What is done? It is procedure. It is done either before the girl gives birth or after she gives birth. Sometimes it is done. So sometimes it is done years after the pregnancy. However, it's advisable. The earlier it is done, the better it is. Wasana. Wasana. Wasana is to clean or to cleanse. For example, for Basti, you say wasana afuli, like to cleanse the pregnant girl. Wasana afuli. You have afuli, girl. Kufuli, the period when a girl is in her youth, when she behaves truly as a girl, generally before being pregnant or married. So you say kufuli. Afuli, kufuli. Afuli, kufuli. And now we have kasaki. Remember, kasaki is sickness. Kasaki and kufuli. Kasaki and kufuli. Some people just say kufuli to express this. That's to say the sickness that comes when a girl, kasaki and kufuli, the sickness that comes when a girl gets pregnant before marriage and the cleansing ceremony, basti, is not done. That's the sickness linked to it. It's called kufuli. And if this happened to somebody, the person must look for a witch doctor to conduct her in a series of ceremony in order to be free of this sickness of kufuli, kasaki and kufuli. You have thamba, 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 th, Balanta has th, thamba, low altitude rice field with water. Donkelina, I miss N between W and K. Donkelina. Donkelna aftamba. Donkelna aftamba. Donkelna aftamba. It means to go down. Donkelna aftamba means to go down to the low altitude rice field with water. For example, if you are going for plowing rice or to do basti with a pregnant girl, you say benang donkelna aftamba. Benang donkelna aftamba. We want to go down to the low altitude rice field with water. Yef yura. Yura is verb and the noun is kuyur. Yura kuyur. That's to pour a liquid like wine at an idle place in order to communicate with it. Generally only elder people do it, or a specific person chosen in the family for that. So yura kuyur. Yura kuyur. So when it is normal marriage, it means that the girl doesn't get pregnant before marriage, and she's going to be married. For the normal marriage uh, that we saw yesterday, it is done like this. The first 4 days, the girl is brought to the future husband family house, but does not sleep yet with the man who she is going to marry. During these days, she dresses in a simple way with a traditional piece of cloth, has skirt, and a hat like a Milcar Cabral hat. And they pour smooth talc in her neck. She goes house to house, accompanied by people, especially Nkut. She goes house to house, accompanied by people, especially Nkut. Nkut, you remember Nkut? Like the maid of honor. So singing, and each family chief give her something like money or anything else. If the girl is a very close relative of somebody, the family chief can even slaughter an animal, generally a pig, a big pig, to show kusuma, the happiness for the marriage. After these 4 days, on the 5th day, she is taken to her father's house. During next 4 days, in her father's house, this is when the true marriage ceremony starts. The family does a series of ceremonies, and the girl stays only inside, covered and assisted only by her maid of honor, and that we call Nkut. If somebody strange comes to her, she just kneel and cover herself with a piece of cloth. So she becomes very sensible in this period, not being in contact with any strange person. She eats a specific food and drinks specific water. If she can't finish the food, that food cannot be thrown away because it's like holy. Only a woman who has just given birth, because she does not sleep with a man in this period, so she is pure. Only that a woman who has just given birth, maybe for some weeks or just 2 or 3 months, can help her finish this food, because that food is to finish. And the fallen food, the crumbs, the fallen food, the crumbs on the ground are carefully gathered by the maid of honor that takes it and throw it in a secret place, generally in a termite house. Because if somebody with bad faith get access to even a grain of rice of that food, they can do something harm to the girl who is going to get married or who is getting married. Or the girl can even become just barren. So that's why that food is very sensible. They take care of it. Even each grain of rice is gathered by the maid of honor, who then takes the rest of the food fallen and take it and throw it in a secret place where nobody knows. After these 4 days in the father's house, on the 5th day, it is where Deng, you remember Deng, is the time where people sing, they embellish the bride. The bride is embellished during this Deng. Takes place by bringing out the girl who during 4 days used to be only inside with the maid of honor. So they bring the girl out, and people sing, people shout, people enjoy, everybody is happy at that time. The girl is changed clothes in each instant. Only in the evening of that 5th day, the girl is taken to husband's house, to the man, and the marriage ends like that. Thank you. This is all for today. See.